Hello, my name is Wes Sinnen, and I was going to just kind of share as shortly as I can make it what kind of led me to Christ. I was raised by Christian parents, but they never really went to church, and so I was never really they never really kind of led me towards Christ or gave me any direction in that. I mean, that was their belief, you know, and they were, they didn't drink, they didn't smoke, and so I was raised in that kind of atmosphere where I just, for the longest time I never stepped inside a church, and but I wasn't out for partying and stuff like that. I kind of wasn't raised that way, so I never got into that. And through my life, I just I really, my parents, they kind of raised me to be, a good person and just, try to help each other, help others and stuff. But they never really explained to me, I think, why they did that. And I just I went with it, I guess, with a worldly view. And I just, through life, I kind of focused on trying to see where I could go and how much money I could make, and just the bigger, better deal kind of thing. And I met somebody, and that was kind of her, not that I don't think she ever meant it that way, but that was kind of her focus too. It was to, we were both kind of focused on the bigger, better thing, and we lived our life that way. and we were always miserable. We were in debt, and we lived paycheck to paycheck more often than not because we really necessarily had to, but because we just bad choices. And I believe that, I worked for, I had job positions. I worked for a company that I always thought that if I ever got a job working for them, that'd be where I'd retire from. And I got a job there, and I worked for IBM for like 2 or 3 years or something like that, and I got to the point where I couldn't stand it, and I decided that maybe I had taken the wrong choice in the IT world. And I had a friend that got a job for a trust plant, or IT for a trust plant, and so I changed fields and started trying to go that direction. And it's pretty wild because I got a job offer in a place called Pensacola, and I had honestly never heard of Pensacola. And I got this job offer, and it was for more than I ever made before. There was a real big boom in the area for someone with my expertise. So I moved down here simply chasing money. I mean, because that's what I was focused on. That was my, I guess, God or whatnot. That's where I had my heart, was on trying to make money. And I moved down here thinking it was going to fix my problems, and I was going to be making a lot better money than I ever made and stuff like that. But it really didn't change anything. I mean, I was even worse off, because now I'm taking care of stuff and back home in Georgia, and I'm taking care of stuff here, and I kept moving forward. I bought another house down here, and it was a really bad time to buy a house. I mean, for me, credit-wise, for the economy, it was just it was a really bad choice, and I got myself even deeper, and just our relationship even went further downhill, and we were very unhappy, and it got to the point where she apparently met somebody else, and and went a different route. And a few months later, I lost I lost the job that I moved down here making so much money, and and it got to the point to where I ended up losing my house, and I couldn't understand why. But in the process of this whole thing, I, from someone at work, was brought to a Super Bowl game, and I have absolutely no interest in football. I just, I mean, I'll play it with friends and stuff like that just to hang out, but, I don't, enjoy watching it. And I went to this football game because I was trying to meet friends. We just didn't know anybody down here, and we were really trying to mingle with people that were godly, that were nice people, And I was introduced to this guy named Cliff Tipton, and he, at the point in time, it really didn't kind of click because, I was still with this person, and, but when, Cliff kind of, he introduced the word at the halftime game, and that was really when, I think that was the first time where I started, actually hearing the word. And and then the other stuff I talked about started happening, and I got to the point to where I was like, I didn't know what to do. I didn't have anything, I was in a house by myself, the job wasn't going all so great, and I got involved in this singles ministry at Marcus Point called 722, and I went there because at this point in time I didn't know what else to do. I was at a loss, somewhere where I didn't know anybody, and so I went there, and I think my objective was to make friends, just try to get somebody to hang out with, and I didn't have anything to do, and I was just like, well, you know what, I'm coming here, maybe I should try going to church on Sunday. So I started going to church on Marcus Point, and I kept getting led more and more into it, and I started thinking, I was like, well, I don't have anything else to do. I might as well start just pouring my time into this to try and learn what I can, to just try and make up for 25 plus years or how many ever it was, of not being involved at all in Christ. And I started realizing where I was going wrong. I mean, I was doing, I was trying to do nice things for other people, and I was, I wasn't going out and drinking and partying and stuff, but I realized that I was doing it. I guess maybe I didn't know why I should be doing it. I didn't realize that I should be doing it for Christ and to glorify Him. I was doing it just to do it. I mean, and I think that's where I started realizing that's what I'm doing wrong. I need to start focusing on Him and how I can do what I'm doing to to glorify Him. And then over time, I'm really kind of scatterbrained here, but I started focusing on Him instead of focusing on where I could go and how much I could make. And the more, it wasn't overnight. I mean, it's not like, I woke up one morning and all of a sudden, I was just, it was a long, years, 3 or 4 years or more. It took time. I had to get myself out of debt. It's been over 5 years now. I just got through paying off my credit cards last year, and I got some other debt that I'm hopefully going to get paid off this year. But I stayed focused, I stayed focused on Him and not on me. And it was amazing, over time. It was just like he'd get me out of one other thing. I was used to, I'd been married, for 7-8 years, and then I went to being by myself. It was a major change. Just being in a house by yourself when you're used to always having somebody there with you. But then, when I started focusing on Him, He introduced me to a lot of new friends that, I can't sit here and count now. He then introduced me to my wonderful new wife, and it changed my life. I guess in short, when you change and you start devoting to Him, you can't expect everything to get golden the next day, and it may never get golden, but I'd be willing to guarantee that if you stay focused, if you just keep your eye, on Him, that eventually, you'll be amazed where He'll lead you.
Ain't nothing. Ain't
Amen.
nothing.